जय श्री माता जी। हम सब श्री माता जी को नतमस्तक होकर नमस्कार करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे। लेट्स ऑल बाउ डाउन टू श्री माता जी एंड टेक बंधन। श्री महामंत्र एंड श्री गणेश मंत्र, तीन महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र। बोथ द हैंड्स टुवर्ड श्री माता जी। दोनों हथेली को श्री माता जी की ओर रखें। Let's slowly take our right hand and place it on the mother earth or towards the mother earth. अपने दाहिने हथेली को जमीन पर या जमीन की ओर रखें. लेट्स मेक अ साइलेंट प्रेयर. श्री माता जी, प्लीज क्लेंस एंड प्योरिफाई द लेफ्ट साइड विद इन अस. श्री माता जी, कृपा करके हमारे अंदर के इडा नाड़ी शुद्ध एवं निर्मल कीजिए. Let's bring a right hand back on the lap. Now the left hand, let's take it and place it next to the left ear. दाहिने हथेली को श्री माता जी की ओर रखें. बाएं हथेली को आकाश की तरफ. श्री माता जी, प्लीज क्लेंस एंड प्योरिफाई आवर राइट साइड. श्री माता जी, कृपा करके हमारी पिंगला नाड़ी शुद्ध एवं निर्मल कीजिए. Let's bring the left hand back on the lap. बाएं हथेली को गोदी में लाएं. Both the hands, let's place it towards श्री माता जी. दोनों हथेलियां श्री माता जी की ओर. Let's keep our attention on our सुषुम्ना नाड़ी. अपने चित्त को अपने सुषुम्ना नाड़ी में स्थापित कर दें. श्री माता जी, please bring us into a state of balance. श्री माता जी, कृपा करके हम सभी को संतुलन की स्थिति में स्थापित कीजिए. Let's place our attention on our Sahasrara. Let अपने चित्त को सहस्त्रार पर रखते हैं. Shri Mataji, please bless us to be in state of thoughtless awareness. Shri Mataji, कृपा करके हम सभी को निर्विचार समाधि में स्थापित कीजिए. In this state of meditation, let's listen to Shrimataji's speech. इसी ध्यान अवस्था में हम श्रीमाता जी के अमृतवाणी ग्रहण करें.
So first of all, you start talking about energies. That is that for me. These energies are moving within us and how they activate. Then you talk of the third energy, which is the one which has evolved us. That's how we are here. And you talk about yourself, the controlling part, which is controlling you, the spirit. So if you go on an abstract line, it would be very appealing, I tell you. Then afterwards, see, once you have talked about energies, this, that, once the people, that is within you, see, sort of they'll feel ego, saying, oh, we have this energy, we can utilize this energy, do this, do that. And then you bring them down to Sahaja later on. But to begin with, let us talk of abstract. Because Indians are different and Western people are different. They are fed up of religion, they are fed up of all this. So if you talk of religion, it creates a problem. That's why in the beginning, you see, Vedas, when they were written down, they didn't talk of God or deities at all. They talked about God, about the Creator, but just about Brahmadeva. Throughout Hiranyagarbha, Brahmadeva, right side, they talked. And the whole thing is that mantra is like Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Three. Now Bhu is actually the Muladhara. Is the earth according to Muladhara. Muladhara chakra and Muladhara itself. Then Bhuva. Bhuva is the one which is called the Antariksha, is the one which is all created. She talks of Brahmadeva. Then Swaha. Swaha is capacity to burn off of the Agni. See? It is so surprising. And then they talk of Mahatapa. Tapaha and Maha. Swaha, Mahatapa. So when they talk of Swaha, they talk of Maha. Maha is what you call the great. Allahu Akbar. And of Tapa. Tapa is the one where you have to become a tapasvi, means a person who is going into penance, that of Christ. And they say that you have to penetrate through the Surya. That is this. The whole thing is in such an abstract way. And then you get to your moksha. So they have talked of all the chakras. But if you talk about the abstract part of it, people have no objection. They listen to it. There's no religion as such. So today especially, I'm talking about Vedas and this Havanas we do. When we do the Havan, it is a Yajna. Yajna means by which you know. Yajna means to know. Yajna. And this is done where you use Swaha as the word. That means you use the principle of fire to burn off all that is wrong in you. Swaha. And you awaken it by taking the different names of the God. And it started at the time of Rama. Today is Rama. I should say it was not started, we should say, but it was very much in vogue when Rama lived, and they used to do yajnas at that time. The reason was the people had just started realizing that there is something higher and you have to worship that higher self, the seer said. And they thought that best thing is to do yajnas. The same thing. On the left side, of course, people started the worshipping of God and dedication to God and all those things. That is bhakti. But mainly what they did before Rama was the yajnas, Vedas, with which they prayed to different elements. Elements have made our chakras and tried to evoke the deities of the elements. But actually it amounts to the same. So as a child, Rama was studying with a very great saint. And when he was studying with him, Vasishtha was the name of the great saint. And Vasishtha had an ashram where Rama and his brothers studied. Come now. Come in. Come forward. Give her a chair to sit down. Can you? Is there a seat there? I think Gail, you can go there. Lots of seats are there. Rama was studying with this Vasishtha, and they used to come for holidays to father's place. Then he had the capacity to kill a demon with only one arrow. It's called an ekabani. One arrow was sufficient of Sri Rama. And he was a small little child, say about 7-8 years of age. And people were surprised how he could do it. So whenever they had a yajna, now these yajnas were created to awaken, to evoke the deities inside the spinal cord, actually. And for these yajnas, they used to sit down and do all these havanas the way we do it. But at that time, the Rakshasas would come and try to spoil the yajna. Because yajnas are to be done with pure heart and with cleanliness and with purity. It should not be insulted. There is a protocol about it. While they thought that if we insult the deities there, then the deities will disappear and their yajnas will be spoiled. Now these yajnas were done in the olden times even when Rama was not here. But at the time of Rama also, there were some Rakshasas who took a special pleasure in spoiling these yajnas. And Rama as a child would go and protect them from the demons. And the demons would take some sort of a funny form and come like invisible creatures and put some bones of animals and things like that in the yajna. And that would spoil the effects of the yajna. And Rama would protect that as a child. Imagine, as a child he used to do that. They would be doing the yajna and he would be sitting outside with all his small brothers around him, and they would kill the demons who would try to destroy the yajna. This is the early life of Rama, in which you see how, as a child also, he showed amount of expertise, you can say, in arrow and bow. So anytime you see a statue, how to make out a Sri Rama statue is to see if there's an arrow and a bow, then it's a Rama statue. Now he is coming on this earth. Gave us the development of the right side. And so the yajnas were also on the right side. Because, first of all, when human beings came on this earth, they were frightened of all the animals who would invade them and all kinds of horrible rakshasas and all those people and negative forces, they would trouble them. So in that state, they needed to create a king, a ruler, who was an ideal king and he would rule according to the laws of Dharma. So he was the one in charge of that era, what we call as Satya Yuga, you can say. But actually, he was here in Treta Yuga. That's the time when he was here, was Treta Yuga. And Krishna came at the time of Dwapar Yuga. And today is the time when I came, it was Kali Yuga. But now today, the time is of Kruta Yuga. The Yuga where work will be done. Kruta means work will be done. This is the time where work will be done. So how things have moved from one to another. Now in the Dwapar Yuga, when Sri Rama came, the idea of kingship and rulership started. So the greatest emphasis was on the goodwill of the people. The people had to have goodwill for the people and for the king and for the betterment of humanity. The will, that is the right side. So how to create the goodwill in people? First, the leader has to sacrifice and show how far he can go in sacrificing to keep the morale and the goodwill of the people. So the right side was created by the advent of Sri Rama because he showed a path of creating among people the awareness that they should be ruled, that they should not be anarchist. There should be one head who should be able to organize, coordinate, and work out a collective thing. You see, when we think of a king, we want to oust him because we don't like the idea of being ruled by him. Because he's not a good king, perhaps, or he doesn't represent that will of the people, which is a common will, which creates this king who rules for the maintenance of that good. See, it is a symbolic expression of your good. So when you create a law, it is also the expression, common expression of all the common people, of the common feeling that they should abide with law. It doesn't come to you that you are a slave, or you have to be dominated, or you have to be put down. But it is only your common will which is good. The desire of all the people, which is the good, righteousness, incarnates as Shri. And he looks after that will, because supposing an individual may start saying that this is not good, this is not good. An individual might take a different attitude about it. But you must have some symbol of that goodness placed onto someone. And those symbols were created to symbolize your righteousness, your sense of good, so that you can be saved yourself. Supposing today somebody comes and hits you. Alright? Now you can feel how bad it is to be hit by someone or murdered by someone or this. So you decide there should be a law protecting you. But tomorrow you may do the same thing. So what you do is to take out your good will, represent it as the kingdom or a king or a governing body. So the government as it is represents, should represent also, both ways. It's not that it always represents, it may not at all represent, may not, possibly. But that the government itself should represent the good in you, the purity in you, the pure will to be good, to be protected. And that you should also abide by. It's a very mutual thing. But what happens? That once you start electing someone like that, or making someone like that, or appointing someone like that, as usual, he goes into a ego trip. Simple thing like that. It's absolutely a simple ego trip. The government gets into an ego trip. People get, amazed how people behave. They'll elect, supposing, a prime minister, and suddenly you find the prime minister behaves like a brute. You can't understand. You have elected somebody like a prime minister thinking that is going to be good to us. You see, it's possible. And then the revolutions take place while people revolt, fight it out. Again, the will of the people fights it and makes it all. So come now, come. Come here, forward. You can come forward. So we have to have something absolute. You see, because all these values are changing every moment. Isn't it? We think that this government is not good. So, for example, we think like that. So we want to demolish this government. Then we bring another one. We find the same thing happening. See, whether you bring a communist, or you bring a socialist, or you bring a democrat, or you have a monarch, whatever you may have. But still, what happens actually is that all these things that come up and go away, they will come here. Let me move forward a little so everybody can listen. All these changes that take place goes on creating a feeling in a man that he should be an anarchist. Why should we have any government? Why should we have any king? Why should we rule by anyone? Because you find the person who is ruling is not up to the mark. And he is just trying to deceive you. At that point, you have to have some absolute standards. If you have an absolute standard, then you can always judge that this king is deviating from the right path. He is not doing what a king should do. A king has to be like Rama. He has to be like Rama, representing your will, your goodwill, your sense of proper judgment, fair play, and righteousness. If the king is not righteous, then your collective goodwill will go against the king. Now you go on throwing one from another. Say, I've seen now, for example, say in France, we had one kind of a uh, prime minister. He did lots of things which were not good, so was thrown away. So you had another kind of one. Now he is doing another thing, so he is going to be thrown away. And we are just playing games. You see, first of all, we have, say, Labour government, we don't like it. So we have another government, Conservative government, we don't like it, throw away. Go on playing with it all the time. But in this relativity, you see, we are improving. Definitely, we are more aware, understanding, and the value of these people, and also the public is understanding. But then when, you see, too many such people come in who are negative, they also bring down the will, the collective will, very low. And people start identifying themselves with these autocrats, or you can say those people ego-oriented, who have no moral values, who have no fear of God, who deny religion, who deny evolution, and the government starts behaving in such a manner that you are amazed. How is this the government? Like you can say in Chile, in Argentina, the way government is behaving and is putting down the people. All these things are happening. You see, you don't know. It's such a relative terminology. Like El Salvador, you don't know what to do with that now, whom to support. Whether to support the Americans or to support the Russians and all that. Now, under these circumstances, a Sahaja can stand and say, now what to do? Should we join this or that? All is a wasteful thing. It's just a game going on. Let them break their heads. They are good for nothing, useless people. So you cannot solve these problems, and you are not supposed to solve them. They must get their realization and establish the kingdom of God. So really Rama rules on this earth, and not these horrible kings who change their morality every day, who change their ideas every day, those who are built is sometimes for something materialistic. I would say now in our country, we thought that we'll have Mrs. Thatcher. Good, very good. She's coming up very well. I should say certain good things she's saying, like self-restraint and all that. Those things she's talking good things. But what about herself following this? Sri Rama not only propounded what was good, but he followed that. He sacrificed for that. And he established his own symbol as a pure symbol of that righteous will that is within the people, which is the collective righteous will. Now, for example, you can see clearly how the ego-oriented things work out. You see, first of all, by misidentifications we can have. Now, if you are a communist, you have to be out and out communist. You cannot have compromise between democratic methods and communism. They can't find any integration. They think if you have to be this, you have to be absolutely this. If you have to be that, it has to be absolutely that. But in Sahaja Yoga, what you find is both are integrated. Because you have the complete capital with you and you have to distribute it. This is a complete integration here. All these isms and all that are experiments of the artificial, of the mind. Just a projection of the mind, which is whatever man made is artificial, you know that. But what is God made is all integrated. That whatever you have within yourself, you must give it to others. Now see for administration also. What happens after surgery? Say, I am, say, your mother, here sitting down. You like me to guide you. You like me to govern you. You like me to correct you. You like me to scold you. And to even go to a great extent to see that your life improves. Supposing I say, all right, I give up. I don't want to trouble you. You will not like. None of you will like such a situation. Where I say, all right, you are a gone case, I have nothing to do. You get out. Nobody will like such a situation. You want me to govern you. You want me to look after you. You like that. Automatically you have started liking it. There's no domination, but you want my domination. You want me to dominate you. You want that all my desires should be dominated. Automatically. Why you feel that it is all right, it is very good if mother takes interest in me, corrects me, it's a privilege. Why do you think like that? Because by that there is a general good created. There is a general good created. Because you have become integrated. Your body, your mind, and your soul, all of them think the same way. They all want the same. There's no difference. Once there is integration, you'll find Sahaja Yoga is the easiest way to live it. But if there is not, then it is real. For you are a lazy person, for example, or you are a very hot-tempered person, or you are a sort of a dual person, or you are playing tricks with yourself, you are playing games, then you won't like Sahaja. As long as these situations are in you, you will not like Sahaja. But once this situation is overcome, then you will like it. Because then you will know that whatever is good for your spirit is for the well-being of you all and of all the people. Once this well-being comes in, everyone feels absolutely nourished and fresh.
जय श्री माता जी. Let's all bow down to Shri Mataji. Thank Shri Mataji for today's meditation and take Bandhan. हम सब श्री माता जी को नतमस्तक होकर नमस्कार करेंगे. आज के इस ध्यान के लिए आभार प्रकट करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे. जय श्री माता जी.